So I thought today to start to explain you about racks. Racks is a way that like how Ableton contains sounds and create like multi-layer samples or sounds and so on, and audio effect. And you have like a few different types of racks, and they behave slightly different. And it's quite useful and it's quite more advanced, like when you start to understand how it works and how you play with it. It's another kind of thing to custom-made your sounds and your audio effect, and then like you can save it in a way, and you can have more control that you can map to MIDI and stuff like that, like the marker knobs control. It's very common. And also why it's so crucial, I think, is because all the ecosystem of Ableton, it works through this kind of racks containers, kind of. So why like it's work like that? So if you can, for example, I will go to sounds, any kind of sound, don't really matter. And I will check, for example, this one, and I will put it on the MIDI. And now I see also the name, that how they name it. And also like these kind of marker controls.
So that's a rack right there?
So yeah, it's actually a rack. Why it's a rack, and if you want to figure out what is the rack here, so you're gonna go here and you go to see show devices, because usually it's more than one device, and then you see the whole thing, and then
so like the preset
this is for
are already racks basically?
Yeah, most of the sound. Sometimes they don't use racks because they don't put
the sounds are racks.
Like, so like this is just one example of like how they create this kind of network to create a specific sound. Because if you create a sound from scratch with the synthesizer, with the instrument, so to create it more unique and more like suitable to what you're looking for, so you add, for example, here the delay, the chorus, the more and more effect, and after you put these effects, after you have all this kind of multiplicity, you want to map it to a specific aspect in a way, because you want to control the filter and you want to control, for example, the delay. And then this is why you see this kind of green thing here that like show up, and it doesn't show me like what I do exactly if I'm changing it. It's like it show it like this. Sorry. Let's take it for here. So now it's kind of, it's not affecting what I do, because it's mapped to one of these. This one, for example, when I'm moving it, I see it here. So this is the frequency. It's connected to the filter here, the knobs here. And it's just play with it to see, this is the resonance filter, resonance. So this is like how it will resonate with the frequencies, and so on. And basically, Ableton created this kind of presets. It's kind of preset basically that is built on, in this specific example, is the analog synthesizer, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's the analog, or the operator. Yeah, and then if you want to create by yourself from scratch something, so it's the operator. So you see, it's the same thing in terms of like how it looks like. The device is the same device, but what make it different?
It has no effects on it, right?
Nothing. This is like also just specific oscillator, and this is like sine wave, and this is actually how you create this kind of unique sound, and also you can mimic like piano and organ and all of these kind of things, because with synthesis in general, it's basically allow you to create your sounds from scratch, and then you can also mimic other sounds, and you have different devices to do it that more like suitable to do it. And so if I want to now go to the kind of the explanation of racks, so it's kind of So the unique thing about racks is basically the idea that you can create a specific chain of like audio effects and sounds, and then you can map it in a way that it will help you to control better your sound and make it more customizable, like and more related to what you want. And then you can easily perform it because it's connected to knobs, and the knobs connected to your MIDI controller. So it's like the way that I think how I use it is basically to create my network more aligned with what I feel like. So I will map specific things. And yeah, like kind of compare the devices, and it's allow you to combine sounds, organize effects, build your own tools. And the cool thing about it is how all Ableton sounds created. So if you now, we're going back to the sounds. So if I want to shut down some stuff here, and I can basically go backwards to this kind of initial point with the operator device. So for example, if I want, this is like a preset that they did, and you have like all this stuff. If I start to delete what they did, so I came back to the same thing. Just
what
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think the operator basically is the most basic rack.
Okay.
Operator is the synthesizer.
Empty synthesizer. So
Okay.
Ye-
Oh, that's
whatever
good.
you put in has nothing
I
until
see.
you start moving it.
Yeah, you have
Operator,
like
okay.
some default. It's like here is the scene where it's the word of synthesis, and I think why it's crucial for you and why now is because when you will understand how racks work, you don't necessarily need to understand synthesis in high level, but you will see better how all these sounds here they actually constructed in a specific way, in specific architecture. So not really matter which sound I will choose, and I will go for to the anatomy of it. I will start to figure out how to shut down and shut down stuff and this is kind of the things that allow you and to control better and to understand what you see. Synthesis is kind of different. Synthesis is like the devices itself, and basically all the instrument here, it's like the whole library that you can. This is like all of the it's by itself, like this the operator and the meld and all these kind of things. They synthesizer by themselves. So maybe I also will talk about synthesis.
Can I ask you a question about the racks real quick?
Yeah.
If you built a rack, let's say like you have a way you want your vocal to sound, a certain compressor, certain delay, you build like 5 effects or whatever onto one thing. Can you save that rack? So for every time you record a song, you just drop your custom rack on it? You can do that?
Yeah, you can do
It would
it.
be settings. It would be
Yeah.
like how it would manipulate whatever you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
in.
So if you just have like
I
your
see.
raw vocal,
I
like
see.
you never hear a record,
So you-
just the raw
Like this
vocal.
is the button for save preset.
Okay, save preset. Where do you do that? Oh, right
Where's that?
there.
Where's that?
Okay.
Where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
Tiny little.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Save,
It's like the old floppy
save
disk.
But
preset.
that saves the,
Oh.
that
Yeah.
saves
Good.
the whole.
So if I will write,
I'm
it's
all
automatically went to the instrument rack
Nice.
and automatically
Remember that.
went to this kind of folder of the
Cool.
user device.
Okay.
It's very
So it's there.
cool.
And then you name it, like so you know
Yeah.
what it is. Like,
Jenny's vocal style.
It's
like
automatic.
I'm tired. You know that.
It's
kind of
automatically, yeah, also open the rename automatically.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Wait, before
Yeah, but all the stuff that you play with, so if you will save it, they will go to the user library.
Okay.
And you have also, like, yeah, it's under the name of presets here.
But just to be clear, before you took one from sounds, that was also a rack, and then you went to instruments and you got the.
Yeah, and it's without rack still. Like
Which
now,
one?
the operator now by,
Oh, it doesn't have a rack yet.
no, I will show you what is a rack. So,
Okay.
Okay.
but I just wanted to show you first, like, how
What's a
actually
synthesizer?
it's so, like, it's here, it's everywhere. All the sound, all the library here, most of them, like, contain this kind of rack, kind of, you can say, rack mode. And basically, in a way, this is how you unpacked and packed, like, this
You
kind
can
of
tell
things.
it's a rack because it has
So how I can say, yeah, it's multiple
that's
things, and also
steps.
like this kind of connection of the macro control, it's called, and basically also the way that how you can create automation of it. It's like more powerful than what I just show you now. So
But,
for you, like,
sorry, also
Yeah.
the icon maybe next to it, does that show if it's a rack or not? Okay.
yeah, it's true. So for example, this one, if you see like when you have like this kind of rectangle, not just a piano,
Right.
this is a good point. So this is a rack, and this is not a rack because this one you don't have a multi-layer here. You just have the synthesizer.
Huh.
And also, like when you look about all these kind of names and stuff like that, this is like basically a Ableton producer that just basically name it, and they think that is aligned with this name. And usually it's what they feel like and what the people that do it. And
Would've
I
been
think
nice
more or
if
less
you
is
included rack.
accurate.
Yeah, can you show the
On
rack
all of them?
versus non-rack again?
Yeah,
The
if
non-
it's none, we didn't see it yet
Okay.
because first I wanted to show you that it's so integrated thing in
Uh-huh.
Ableton.
Uh-huh.
And it's connected to your whole thing here,
Okay,
and also
gotcha.
you have like drum rack that is all the drums is actually in kind of a drum rack. So if we just see, for example, just the drum rack, so you also have the macro controls, but it's slightly different. So you have like 3 types of racks, and this is why I did this kind of PowerPoint. And so the 3 main racks, it's like the instrument rack, drum rack, and audio effect rack. And they're slightly different in the way that how they work and how you can play with them. Like for example, what we saw now, the drum rack. So you map drum samples to individual pads. So this is like the pads kind of.
So because there's different pads, it's a rack. Is that what makes it?
What makes it a rack?
In my mind, a rack is just multiple things stacked up, right?
Yeah.
So you have, with the synth, you have like the main, the bass stack, right, whatever, like the synth is the sound, and you're stacking all these different things to manipulate it, right? But a drum rack, is it just kick, bass, snare, like a rack, like the rack like that, in that sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Each
in a way.
one is on its own thing, the same way like each effect would be on its
I
own thing
think
with the synthesizer?
What for me helped to grasp it is
Yeah.
like, it's basically the rack. It's like, it's to make it holistic. It's to make all these kind of samples, for
Yeah.
example, in the drum rack, connected to each other.
Mhm.
Or if it's the synthesizer, so all the audio effects and all this transformation that you did, connected to each other in the way that how the macro control works. So this is how the way they can connect to each other. And also it's like slightly different stuff. So for example, this is preset that you can, the camera thing here. So also it's nice because it's like preset that you made inside of the rack.
Oh, you can change those.
And now you have different, like when you play it, so different preset.
So then it's activated.
So it's basically, yeah, lunch macro variation. So you create different variation. So this is like another way that
So you can customize your own
customize
variation and then
different variation that you can play. Hi, good morning. I didn't say. How are you? So, yeah, well, we started with quite maybe technical thing in the beginning, but I think it's very related to all what we will see in the future, like also until now and also from now, it will make our familiarity with the software a bit better, and also like how sounds connected to each other, and organize how basically Ableton organize sounds and instruments inside themselves, inside of the software, inside of different sounds, inside of the customization here, and how you create control if you need control, if you want control. So why would I bother to use racks actually? It's a good question, I think.
You able
To
to
ask-
manipulate it and like have it sort of like weave together a little bit? Is that right? Sort of you'd find, would it be like Brad was saying, where you would just have something that you're like, oh, this sounds great together, and then you just have it there instead of having to search for it all? Is that why?
This is like,
Or
yeah,
you
for
have a bad
preset.
answer?
It's also, yeah, it's true for preset, and then you can save stuff, and you can. control it better, like just drop what you did before. Yeah, that's also. And I think I was like a lot of like for a while I was without racks at all. I wasn't use it, and I wasn't understand it. And now, like after I understand the stuff that how the architecture of Ableton, it's based on the racks. So how they build everything here, it's based on this kind of idea. So you can create and you can understand what they did much easier when you understand racks. This is why it's like so crucial, I think, and this is why I mentioned, like in this kind of session, that it's allow you to understand better the architecture and also to create the architecture by yourself. This is like, if I need to say it in a simple way. The architecture, when we think about the architecture of the sounds and the different things here, so it's basically to control and to combine stuff together. This is like the idea of racks, I think.
And you can combine, like, would it have to all be in a subset of like drums, or could it be to combine like also a bass and also whatever? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
piano.
Yeah, so you also can have
Other
this
sounds.
kind of, yeah,
Okay.
it's a good point. And then you can map it to a MIDI control
Yeah.
and have, like, basically you can have something like that you have half of the keyboard,
Yeah.
it's piano, and half of the keyboard is synthesizer of
Oh,
like
wow,
of some
that's
sort.
crazy.
And then you can, for a live performance, like you can control it, and if you have like a larger MIDI control, so it's allow you to kind of have these kind of things. This is like the instrument track, for example, the way that you can map it.
Huh, interesting.
I think it's very, very deep. It can be super deep, like the way that you can map stuff and control everything and make it more and more like to what you want for, like for your live performance or for your instrument and stuff like that. But for now, let's start to just understand the basic of it, like how it's kind of three main racks and how to grasp them. And then maybe we can just a bit like explain the basic of how some sound that you use maybe now. Let's figure out how they, like, what is the building blocks behind them, what is the backbones of them, you know. And then we can also see what you did. We can do it again, like this. What I thought after you understand the basic of it, you can show, you can present us like what you did if you want,
Yeah.
Sure.
or other people here, like
Yeah.
if you want. And then we can also have this kind of question and play with it and add layers and maybe to combine the beat for your lyrics.
Yeah, I have an idea. Yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of tools in Ableton, and we have so much stuff to explore, and it's like a complete world. But I think the architecture, like it's allow you, when you understand architecture, it's like allow you to also navigate better, and this is why I think racks is quite crucial here. And so the instrument rack, it's like what I demonstrate now. Like if I want to basically map the MIDI control and create like two instruments in one MIDI control, this is what instrument rack can allow me. So it's allow me to layer scenes, also to layer the samples and the melodic instrument into a single playable unit.
That's cool.
Wow.
So this is like how it can be very interesting, because you can control a lot of things through your MIDI control, and the instrument rack allow you to do it like this. And the drum rack, it's what we saw. It's like you basically map all the samples of the individual, like a lot of individual samples, that basically you map it to a specific pads, and then they have, each of them, like they have their own like mini channel. So mini channel, it's mean you can adjust the volume. Also, for example, just for the ride, for example. So I will go to the ride now. Also, you have in drum rack, for example, you have two ways to. So all the drums that we picked so far, if I go here, this allows me to see all the different samples.
That's interesting.
and adjust, for example, their volume by themselves. You don't need to adjust the whole thing here, the gain staging of the whole channel. So you can adjust the specific ride, for example. So I also can play and to see it here, and then I also, for example, I want to lower it, so I can lower it, and it's not. I don't need to lower all the gain staging of the whole MIDI track.
That's cool. You didn't choose all those, right? It was
No,
this
it
core
was
kit.
like,
It's
yeah.
it's the components of the kit.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
What did you press to open that? To
here, just
unfold them? Okay.
unfold.
Wow, that's cool.
While you're in
Okay.
there-
Always the triangles all over the place.
They
They do this kind of
That's helpful.
unfolding and folding, so unpacking and packing. Also
Yeah.
here, so it's the same thing. Like when you look for the triangles, they're always where is it?
Taking a red roll.
Like here, it's actually a different thing, but
There's triangles on the right.
yeah, well, like here as well, and now they slightly changed the icons from Ableton 12. They made it different, but also all this kind of here, it was the unfolding and folding, and the same thing about the other side, and it was triangle in the beginning, and now it's slightly different.
You had a question, Brad. You said while
I
you're
did have a question because you had all the drums open.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to like lower five, say you have 10 drums going or whatever, you want to lower five together. Is there a way to just like select five and lower all together? You know, like
Yeah, you can do that.
How do you? Can you just show me real quick right there?
Like I can lower the gain staging. You mean?
Yeah, like.
So I will
instead of
just
going
basically.
one by one. You want to lower.
Yeah.
Okay, so. You
So for
select
example, I
it.
select all the things.
What
Also,
do
I
you
can
hold?
do this kind of shifting thing.
You're holding shift to do that.
I can, if I'm writing the command,
Yeah.
so it's like adding or like unselect or select,
Yeah.
and it's not like remove everything.
Yeah.
If I'm writing the command, if I'm writing the shift, so it will be
All of it like that. Okay.
from one section to
And
another.
then
Yeah.
if you drag the volume down on one, it'll drag the
So,
volume down on everything.
Yeah, now it's like selected. So
Perfect.
Wow,
Okay.
good question.
That's what I was curious about.
And then you had a question too.
I did, thank you.
yeah, the command and the shift. This is like the way that you can
To group
play with it.
everything.
Yeah,
Group
It's
stuff.
looping and selecting and selecting.
I had a quick question, not even that important, but
Mhm.
it's pretty silly. Like if you have something in your clips, but you want to find where you originally found it in the browser somehow, like just finding the path
Yes.
back to it, like where was that, or where, like, you know what I mean?
It's a good point. Yeah.
It's very hard.
Because I was looking for operator and I couldn't find it, and so I searched the term operator,
Right.
but I would like to know actually where it is located. You know,
Yeah, like
we can do some kind of right click somewhere. that
think
you can do according to the Google search, but I don't know.
right click. Yeah, probably there is something for it. Let's see. Because now I'm on the.
It's hard to find.
Let's see. It's a good point. Actually, I haven't thought about it. But right click
If you
and
can
it
mark it or
says
anything or
copy
Yeah.
now.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah, like if you found.
Like
it-
what you have, this is something that is very cool.
Oh, that's another. That's actually a
That-
different question, but it's good.
You have this kind of switch thing.
Yeah, that goes back, right?
This switch actually,
to
if
the
I'm
last one.
so it's also go to. So maybe yeah, is this what you need? No, like it's go back to the clip. Let's see if it's make it also for this one. But also it's very cool because now if I select the switch and now I go to 808. Sorry. So it's now very easily I can transform to different drums because it's like connected to the switch button or swap.
Oh,
But for example, if I'm here, so yeah, I think this is the way that you come back to the clip, no, like to the sample.
yeah, and also.
Because also here it's also like this. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same thing. So yeah, this is what I.
Well, it's like where can you like?
Mm-hmm.
Because I searched for the term, and then but I would like to know which folder it was in originally.
Mm.
And then Jenny
So
had
you
a follow-up question, which is like, if you pick some that you like and you know you're gonna like in the future, can you mark it somehow
Yeah.
as a favorite?
Yeah, yeah. You have all these kind of things.
Oh,
Ah.
that's useful.
You can also drag it to there. No, but you can mark it.
Okay.
Select to favorite or whatever.
Okay.
Oh
That's helpful.
wait,
Like
mine's-
usually you can.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's not dragging for me.
Yeah, it's not dragging. It's like
You have to right click and label it or something. Yeah, there you
yeah here. Like right click and just basically you select it.
go. Okay, that's cool. Ooh, and I like
Not from your thing, but from the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And
If you can find it.
yeah, so if you want to find it again, like what we say now, like basically you go to the swap. And then it's allow you to swap. And also if like for example if I want to swap just this specific conga, so I will go to the conga here and I will swap, sorry, and then it's allow me to see and also to choose something else. And then if I will change it, so I change just the specific sample. You see what I mean? Like the swapping here. And this is also cool. This I think
What
you
is
didn't
it?
see.
What
This is to swap the
it's
sample,
Okay.
but also you can swap the preset.
Okay.
So you have different styles of swapping, and you can also, like this is what we covered last time, similar sounds, similar samples. So swap something similar.
And it'll just do it,
Hmm.
or you?
It'll give you some options.
Yeah, it's just change it now.
So it just like randomly brings something
Yeah.
up.
Like if I'm, for example, also here, if I want to hear something that is more, it's very cool with some, like for example, if I go to acoustic, and I like this sound, so I have this kind of button here, so show similar files,
It's a pizza.
Whoa, that's cool.
and then it's
And
also
arrange
like
it.
it's arranged in a specific kind of direction that is more similar or less similar. And what's cool about it, and also if you launch, like you load your samples inside of your user library and your folder, so it's also searched through them. So there is kind of a algorithm there that basically scan your sample and recognize based on BPM, sound, and so on, how it's like also waveform and stuff like that. And it's like very nice
Oh, wait, say that
engine.
again? Which one is that?
Like the swap, or show a similar sound, show similar files,
Oh.
Very cool.
and show similar files is basically, it's a very cool engine that they did now from one of them last update, that basically this engine recognizes your files also, not just like the files of Ableton, also your packs, and they read it based on the sample rate and these kind of things, and then it basically recognize what is the sounds, what is the similar files look like, and basically they map it to you, because you can now search for similar files that also from your files and also from their files. So it's very cool because if you like this sound and you want to hear something that's slightly different but
Yeah,
similar,
That's
so you
awesome.
can just go. It's,
You have to do something.
Is it on your side also when you drag your samples in as well?
yeah. So if it's in the if it's already on the sample, your samples in this user library and or in the folder here, I think it automatically will search for it also there.
Very cool.
So the browser, yeah, it's a huge update that they did in the last version. That basically you have this kind of further searching stuff and adjusting and changing and swapping and all these kind of things. And it's very, very, very nice. Yeah, so this is like shortly the drum rack, and basically if you go here, you can just map more and more places because you have more slots if you go up, and basically if you just here, so it's kind of the octave of like the rack,
Yeah.
so it's like you just go up.
So you said that you can put a sample in there, so you could have just one of those keys there, or one of those
Yeah.
pads be like
You
a
can
full
just drop it
sample.
to here, yeah.
Huh, that's
Here.
interesting.
So for example here it's I want to
Mhm.
drop something,
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I have it here.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's a bit tricky because you have more sounds than what your MIDI keyboard allow you. So you need to kind of change the octave. So it's fine, but sometimes you can search for it. Oh, where is it? You need to start to go up and go down with the octave. Yeah, so this is how the drum rack works more or less. Also, I want to just briefly show you everything, and it's kind of your time by yourself, like to explore it, because it's gonna take a lot of time if I will explain everything here. So I just want to show you, this is rack, this is how it works, this is how you can play with it, and then your exploration, it's with your time. Yeah, and the audio effect racks. So this is how you chain a lot of audio effects, and it's also relevant to mixing and stuff like that, because it's allow you to create parallel processing, and parallel processing is something that's related to something that we also discuss when you want to separate your audio from the master in a way that it keeps the I did it quite complicated. Parallel processing. It's parallel processing, and basically it allows you to control more the dry sound of this. Like if you have a specific sound, and now I'm dropping a reverb on it. Let's say. So now it's not in the parallel processing. Now the reverb, it's automatically works on the sound that I have there, okay? And another way to create parallel processing is through the rack, audio effect rack. And another thing is to create a return track. So this is like another way that you can create a parallel processing. Because it's parallel, you can adjust it, and then it's also can be quite technical, but I want to just mention it because when you will go and search parallel processing, how to do it, what is it, so you will figure out. But basically it's in mixing. When you get to this stage of mixing is when you finish the whole production part and you kind of now adjust everything. Sometimes people do it along the production, and I think I also do it along the production, because in the end it's your signature, not just as it's the same. For me, it's like similar signature for how you create your own stuff and you create your own melodies. So mixing is also kind of, you create your own way of adjusting sounds and panning them and create a stereophonic signature of your own style. Like, because if you want to, for example, have the snare in specific direction, so it's come from right to left. So you can create it with the mixing part. And with parallel processing, I want to mention it because it's quite important technique to understand, maybe if you go further with mixing and stuff like that, because it's allow you to control better also your effects, and also to keep your dry sound, like the sound that you made as is, and this is very important thing that you can make. And yeah, it was clear, maybe too complicated, or maybe
I would say, like, what you're saying, if I was to say it back to you, would be that you're saying it's better to create, put your audio effects specifically either in a different track or on the right as an option, instead of clicking it directly onto your track, because that is going to change the
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly this.
Okay.
But actually, it's not that important when you're beginner.
Right.
But I wanted to mention it if you will get to this kind of more technical stuff. So this is how the professional, when they mix something, they will usually create this stuff with parallel processing. And it's also because when you create more multi-layer stuff and you want to shut down something, so it allows you to control also the parameters in more efficient and accurate way.
I didn't realize that that's what dry wet meant. Like dry means not manipulated. And
Yeah.
wet means, okay.
like how much you basically fill in. Yeah. And basically, if you want to drag it, now we have so the 3 main racks. So in the audio effect, I can just search audio effect rack, but I think it's this one, yeah. Yeah. So now if I want to, let's see how it looks from nothing. That's it. This is how it looks.
Audio effect, right?
And the same thing about the instrument rack.
Your operator's right there. I don't have that on instrument.
Maybe it's because it's my
Oh
version.
yes, I do.
Oh.
Never mind.
And the drum rack, also in the instrument.
They're just empty till you add stuff.
Empty, completely empty.
Until you add what, effects or just other?
It's instrument
Okay,
effects,
sure.
samples.
Okay. So it's kind of like a vibe more. It's sort of like a vibe, and then you put in the actual
Oh, it's
instrument.
a container.
Container.
Okay, just
Yeah.
a container.
Yeah.
Drop stuff
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, it's drop stuff. So container, chain. It's to
I got
create
you, okay.
creative system, this kind of things.
I see.
It becomes a vibe.
It becomes a
You make it.
you make it a vibe. You make it a vibe. Yeah, here it's a bit more like deep. Like, what is it? How you can build more layered, and you have more. Let's say you can create modulation inside of the rack that also map to two different instruments, so you can create this kind of interesting connection. And I think, yeah, like from left to right, it's like split the keyboard into zones, like what I mentioned before, and you can blend and create these kind of things, create more kind of unique sound, and yeah, and stacking it. Drum rack, you also kind of said it already, but yeah, 128 pads. So this is in one rack, and also like it's the keyboard, if I'm not wrong, like piano keyboard, I mean. And yeah, volume effect, routing, like this kind of thing that you can do, and the idea of like grouping it and make transformation to this kind of group. Yeah, so it's also what I mentioned before. So basically, yeah, this is more or less about it, and I think for you, for now, like it's just very interesting to just explore it and maybe drop some stuff and see how it works, and create your own chain. And the microcontrol, maybe I just want to show you how to do it, because it's quite cool to do it, and like it's kind of simplifying your complexity, and this is how Ableton kept it kind of very user-friendly. When it's not really matter which sound you use, if it's a rack. So you have wait a second. So I have very simple layout, and it's allow me also like to rename it and say what exactly, so I can simplify the whole system that I have there, like all the audio effects, all the chain of like stuff.
Automatically connected to that rack?
It depends on the MIDI keyboard.
Okay.
This one, I don't think so. No, last time we needed to map it.
Okay.
But some of the keyboards, they connected automatically to this one. Sometimes you need to program it in advance. Sometimes it's working because Ableton, they basically sync with specific instrument and specific brands and specific companies. But if I want, for example, to map it, because this is what we did last time, if you remember. So I can do just Command M. It's open me to MIDI map.
Huh.
And now I go to this one. I just select it, the specific parameter that I want,
Yeah.
and I will activate.
Oh, that's amazing.
and that's it. That's enough. And then I just now,
Yeah, wow, that's easy, huh?
yeah, it's quite easy.
Also, you can just map anything to that.
Yeah, so this is the power of MIDI. Also, if you ask me about the MIDI, why it's so powerful,
Yeah.
it's again like control and adjustment, and then
Yeah.
to allow you to be more creative with your complex system, kind of. More creative or more selective. And the macro control, basically, if I'm now exploring what they did here. So they also have a chain. So basically, this is like the chain list. So they have different things here. And if I want to open up everything, so I can see what they did. And now. And also for the macro knobs, you have the map here. And this is another like everything that I'm selecting, it's open so much. So sorry if it's too much, but
What did you press?
map here.
Control M. Oh, you see the map? That's different from MIDI map.
Yeah.
I think that's beyond our.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it very briefly. I don't want to make it intimidating. I just want to show you that this is how in advanced sessions how I can explore some stuff here. So you say the racks, so I will search for the racks, and then maybe I will build something, and then I will check the map, what they did. So here you see the range of how they did, like they did it from minimum to maximum, so you can control how the knob it's specific, the specific range, and also like what they basically map to the macro node. So this is like the whole thing that they map.
2D.
And then if you want to adjust it, so you can adjust it from here. And let's say I want to, for example, delete this one. So I can, I think it's from
This
here.
is the map of a certain rack. Is that correct?
This is the map of the macro knobs. And they connected to the rack
I see.
chain.
Acronyms meaning these little
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
And then where you're setting like the
Mhm.
responsiveness and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. This is my thing with Ableton is like you can go so deep.
Yeah.
You can literally sit
Customize.
7 hours
This is what I was
customizing
just
Yeah.
thinking.
how this
This
thing
is what I was
moves.
just thinking.
But I
And actually,
think-
people make their living just from creating this kind of specific
Ah,
preset,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, which is crazy.
Mhm.
From when
It's okay.
Oh, thank you.
Austin to visit dementia.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think in any kind of profession, when you start to get into the deep stuff, like it's always super technical and super tiny effects. Like for example, neuroscience. You go to the cell and then like you explore the specific kind of neurotransmitters and so on. So like
Yeah.
in any kind of field, like when you see it in the big picture, so it's like create music and you create a song, and then you have the very very like nuts and bolts of it and how
And then I
it's
hand it to
very-
Ari.
yeah, and this is when it's like it's kind of a block for creativity and creation, and we need to pay attention to not get too much of the technicality of it.
I agree with that.
But I think for why I wanted to show you this, I knew that it's gonna be very technical for
It's good to see the
for this stage,
architecture,
but
though, so
yeah, it's important to
understand.
understand the architecture. This is
Yeah.
why, and then like last time that we explore some stuff here, it was always like not completely understood, because also you don't see the architecture of how Ableton use racks to create sound, and how you can create sounds, and how you can manipulate them and map them to a specific aspect of your keyboard, of your sound, of your samples, and how you can store them, and all this kind of thing. And then if you want to save it, so many things here. And then it's to build your own workflow I think in the end is to create your own style of doing this stuff. But next time that people will mention it, so you understand. This is. So I
That's
think it's
useful.
kind of important to know. And I know that a lot of people they can work 20 years in Ableton without using never done like any kind of transformation, and they never knew that it's actually a thing.
Okay.
So
I feel so advanced.
so I think it's important to mention it. This is why I wanted to. So now maybe we can just. It's already 1 hour, so maybe you can show
Yeah.
your stuff,
Sorry.
and then along the way we can play with it.
have to go
You
first.
Or
said
maybe
you
if-
wanted us to do something that was like. You said well. maybe I
The-
didn't understand.
The macro no?
No, something about like you're gonna map onto the keyboard part and part.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding how I wrap this.
Like this, what I want the map
It
of
was one of your
the
slides. If you go back to your slides,
It's too deep.
go back a little.
the macro knobs.
Yeah,
I
then.
don't wanna change anything, I just
no.
wanna understand like
Yeah,
how I can.
This one, no? This is what I want to.
No, before.
Certain things to.
That one.
The
And-
chain.
You know, it's like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, it's
But
like.
how do
if
I don't know what
I-
these things are.
He just did it really
Yeah,
easy
okay.
way. He hit- I
So
think
split is like when you create a zones.
and then
How do you do
everything
that?
was purple, try to
Right.
control
It's
it.
in the
And then
instrument
if you have
rack.
control,
Oh, it's a split. Is one of the things in here.
Yeah,
Ah.
it's one of the things that you can create.
run that,
Layer, it's basically
control,
how you can have a lot of layers and chain
you
them.
don't have control of it.
And switch is
That's
how you
also
can.
in the instruments?
But that way, like,
This is yeah.
if you
All
have.
of
Layering is like basically when you have more and more stuff here.
Right.
It's like
That's
how
all
I-
I wanted to know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
same.
that's
Okay.
This is how I will look
That's
about.
just something you can look at.
And then
Right.
the-
And you're like,
and
okay,
then the
that's
chain.
control,
The chain, why it's cool about the chain is
Where
basically.
are you when you hit command
Yeah,
N
what is
for
the
it to
chain?
jump
So the chain, maybe I will just
anywhere? 'Cause I hit
because it's
command
also
N,
quite
it's no purple.
advanced,
Are
but
you, is your program open?
it not really matter which one I will choose. Let's see if they
You know, I
created
have
a chain.
like a-
Oh, what are the other?
So if you want to see if they made it a change, a preset change.
Yeah, or no, no, no,
So this is like, for example, in this one, when I will open it, I will see this kind of
Apple N.
Ah,
Command
thing.
Oh, command N.
is that something that
Oh,
you
now
had
it
done
does.
or
Okay.
something they did? You said.
They
Oh, no,
they
it
did
does.
it. They did
Okay.
it.
So you can see
Well, now if
their
you wanted
chain
to
of.
like make this.
And
So
how
yeah,
how
they
did
have
you
two
see it?
chains.
Oh, hi, chain.
you wanna
Okay.
make-
Chain
now you
list.
control it to pick
Got
up
it.
your volume, right?
Yeah.
Click
And
it.
then if you want to get into it, like you see you can map it.
Now watch this.
This is the zone editor. So this is when you can map it to a specific.
Yeah, hit Command N.
I think it's a bit too much. This is why, but I just want to show you. Oh, this is like the basic of it.
So you could like.
You can see what is the basic of it, and that's it. That's enough.
Command N turns it on. Command N turns it off.
But how did it know to go right
Yeah.
there?
Because I
Just
turned
something
the knob.
that
No,
moved.
you press the button,
Something that you moved.
and then
Mm.
you just press
Something
it or
you
turn
moved.
it, and then it's like, oh, that's it. Okay.
That's the
so
one.
here's-
Oh, okay. Oh, this was good.
Yeah.
Have come through.
Yeah, that mapping. I never used
Well,
it.
it was a bit technical, and maybe I didn't explain it the best,
That
but
makes sense, I think.
That's great.
it's quite difficult to see how I can
Oh, totally.
show you everything here in a simple way, but
No,
also that
totally.
it will be
No, this is
relevant to
great.
your stage in a way.
This is great.
But
Okay, Brad's
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
Well, I want to share a learning tool I used this week that was
Awesome.
fantastic.
Ooh.
ChatGPT with the speaking, you know, you can speak to it and it talks
Mhm.
back. You
Mhm.
guys use that?
Yep.
I just